Just want to do a quick walk around of the KLX 230. Give you my first impressions before I head out and ride here. But yeah, I don't think I've put enough miles on this thing to warrant a full review. My initial thoughts, I think I made a good choice. Here in Thailand, you really only have 4 choices. You got the Kawasaki KLX 150, you got the KLX 250, and Honda has the CRF 250L, and then this past year they came out with the 250 CRF Rally, at least here in Thailand. And then this past August, in 2019, this is a 2020 version, it's the KLX 230. I just really like the look, man. I've always had my eye on these bikes. Back in college and just after college, I was thinking about getting into this. At the time, I just didn't really have the time or the resources, but I always liked the look of the street legal dirt bikes. I always thought that was cool. You see one of these things cruising through town with the knobbies. Just a good look. Pretty cool. All the specs are online, but I'll go over a few things. Probably one thing that stands out while I'm here is that headlight. I know here in Thailand, it's probably one of the biggest negative reviews was the size of that headlight. Big bulbous head. I don't mind it. I think it looks okay. And you know what? The #1 cause of accidents in this country are motorcycles that don't have lights. So I'm happy to be seen, that's for sure. It might be lacking a little bit in power coming out of first gear, but seems to be enough grunt when you're in second. Second to third's pretty good. These bikes are always good cruising around the city, doing some light off-road. But honestly, I haven't had any problems going anywhere with this bike. This is not a hardcore off-road dirt bike, but if you're a new rider, new to dirt, you won't know the difference. I think it's 293 pounds, like 128 kilograms. But, and you feel it. You don't feel it when you're on the street, certainly, but when you get off-road, you definitely can tell it's got some weight to it. Suspension is, I guess, typical for a dual sport. Long suspension, a little bit soft. Probably not as soft as the CRF 250L, but I haven't bottomed this thing out yet. But on the street, man, it rides good. It goes over anything, any bumps, any holes in the ground, potholes, jumping curbs, no problem. I mean, this thing goes over it like a luxury sedan. You don't even feel it. Like a 70/30 tire, not too bad. I did notice though, I will say, on the street, if you have these things at the correct PSI, they're going to slip on you. I had to basically let the air out. I think it was 22 is what they recommend for both front and back. 22 pounds per square inch, and the front tire I keep at about 20. But the back tire, I've been putting down around 12 to 14, and it just feels better. No sliding. Just feel like you're gripping the road a little bit better. Plan to do a video on gas mileage. Not sure what we're going to get. I know the 250. 250 has been around a long time, so there's been a lot of people do the fuel economy on a 250. I think most people boast about 70 plus miles to the gallon if you're doing a lot of street riding. If you're doing off-road, maybe 30, 40, as much as 50. So I'm kind of doing a combination of both. But really like the look. I mean, this model is only available in Southeast Asia, like Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand. This is the non-ABS. The non-ABS here comes in black and the green and white. I'm pretty sure in Australia and the US you can only get green and white. I did a video doing some onboard with the GoPro. There's a lot of wind in that video, but you could still hear the engine. It wasn't not too throaty. So in the future, maybe a slip-on or a full exhaust. We'll see. See what the budget allows. Probably not a real big fan of the graphics here. Not a big deal. I may peel these stickers off sooner or later. Shifting is easy. If you're a new rider, it's an easy bike to handle. I'm 5'10", so sitting on this bike with the softer suspension, it does go down. I think it's 34.8 inches. Almost it's about a quarter inch shorter than the 250, KLX 250. But certainly noticeable. I sat on the 250 in the showroom, and for me it was a little intimidating because I could barely get the balls of my feet down. But on this thing, I immediately flat-footed this in sneakers, so I knew that this was probably going to be the better choice for me starting out. In hindsight, maybe I'd have bought the 250, but when you factor in price too, this was $1,000 cheaper. Picked this thing up, believe it or not, for under 4K. I think the conversion was 3,975 US dollars, 120,000 baht. And the reason for that is because they make them here. So compared to some of their other models, they're actually more expensive. Yes, tell me what you think. Comment down below. Tell me what you think of the look of this bike. If anybody else has one, maybe you can help other people make a decision. But for a new rider, I think this bike is right up your alley. Or, like I said, somebody who's interested in getting into the off-roading. Maybe you've had a street bike or a naked bike and now you want to do some off-road. I'm going to rip this around the yard a little bit before the wife comes home. Have a little fun before I head out of here and head out towards the river. All right, thanks for tuning in.